Well, hey guys, we're back at it once more. I've got another knife for you today because it is, in fact, Riley's Cutting Edge Reviews. So, today we have the CRKT CEO. Now, this knife is about, in its sheath, is about the size of a pen. Has these really nice fake carbon fiber scales on it. Not the grippiest texture of all time, but not terrible. Little tiny stylus style pocket clip. This thing wears really small in your pocket. Like, it's about the size of a pin. Like, if you have a pin pocket on your shirt, like a sleeve pin pocket, you could slip this in no problem and you'd have a knife right there. But the reason they call this the CEO, I imagine, is because, again, it's very small and it is your it's very small, very unnoticeable to the average person, I imagine. A lot of people probably just think it's a pen, especially if you had, like I said, a pen pocket or something like that. If you're not wearing it on your actual side pockets of your pants, some people would probably think this is a pen, just given by the outline. Now, for the blade, I always like to say this is kind of, to me, it always reminded me a bit of a wakizashi. I don't know why, but it always did. What is the steel on this? Let's see. Doesn't even say. Huh. If I still had the box, I'm sure it would say. But anyway, not a really bad design. Very small. I always liken it to basically a pocket letter opener. You know, this is not a particularly strong-looking blade. And I imagine if you had to do anything serious with this, it could potentially fail you. It's your standard liner lock. Pretty small liner lock, by the way. You kind of got to use your nail to get in there and then push down to get it down. But it doesn't feel too bad. I will say this thumb stud is very small. And you can get it out fast, but I always feel like I'm going to cut myself trying to get this thing out fast. So I was always a fan of just keeping it really simple and just open it with a second hand, because it's just such a small thin blade that I feel like you could easily cut yourself if you're not careful, which is, again, a point against it, if I'm being honest. It's fairly sharp, if I remember. I haven't touched this one in a while, but it is fairly sharp. Never mind, no it's not. Okay, it's not razor sharp. It's certainly not like a Microtech or anything like that, or any of my more high-end blades, but it's certainly not dull. Yeah, not super dull. Not the cleanest cuts in the world either, but not too bad for... I mean, you could probably sharpen this up and get a solid, nice edge out of it. Yeah, like I said, with its size, though, it's a pretty small blade. You'd have to be careful. You might completely destroy it, if I'm being honest. This wasn't a super expensive knife. I want to say 45, 50 bucks tops. Something like that. It's around that price range. It's not bad if you're somebody who wears a suit, or you wear a uniform, or you need to, where you want to carry a knife, but you don't necessarily want to carry a big piece of pocket jewelry. Probably worse options if you absolutely need to carry a knife. Alternatively, I'm sure there's better options. If you wear a suit jacket, carry anything bigger. Just put it in your internal suit jacket pocket. In my opinion, I mean, silly to carry a thinner knife because you need to wear a suit, when if you're wearing a jacket, you slip a knife right in there. Alternatively, you can just take a smaller knife that's about more your speed, and just slip it in your pocket and not clip it to your pocket. And I mean, that works just fine in my opinion. Yeah, not a bad little blade, but again, not the sharpest knife I own. I'm gonna have to give the CRKT CEO about a solid 6.7 out of 10. Again, inoffensive, not as sharp as I would like, and I think it would be hard to put an edge on it. I'm sure you could, but probably not something I would attempt. But hey guys, that's just my 2 cents. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the very near future.